Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham at the third at your service. We're going to be talking about this seriously because this is going to be a longer podcast. So beware if you're going to have a cup of coffee, tea, or anything like that. This is a good subject to be talking about. Message between the lines because a lot of us were born, gifted, raised in a certain way, manners, even that. A lot of people don't even read, right? I get that. Sometimes the message comes clearer as clues, puzzle pieces, etc., etc. I'm not going to go down that route, but it's similar. But I'm going to be pointing out why, right? There are people out there in the real world, even in this type of world that we live in, right? We do, a lot of things do tell us what to do, need to do, and then and accomplish the goal that you need to be set for, right? When you've got a message between the lines, right? There's a message that was clue to the to my family, which is true. Number one, you can't lie about that in any aspect. And if you try to say, "Oh, he's a liar" or "pants on fire," no, I'm not. I'm honest to a T. I'll be truthful with the person. I'll always do it, right? A lot of people in Natford, for slash Cromer, or Sheringham, Rollsworth, obviously, Marin, Rayborn, and then other places around Sodor or Norfolk, as you like to call it correctly normally. And then you add up the dots yourself a little bit, right? You get that, right? When a message between the lines comes to you, it's only for family members only and their private connections. So when you think you want everything on a plate, it's going to take a little time, a little patience, virtue, everything else under the radar, right? People know what I've got on my mind. People know that I'm safeguarded. Yes, you can't. When a lot of people say in the logical terms, and I would not lie to people, and I would not bullshit. All right, I'm cutting the bullshit out for obvious reasons, right? There are people out there that are selfish, rude, unkind, and do the necessary silly acts, bad acts, right? I get that. But the thing is, we always, the steam team is stronger than what we are tended to do, right? The message between the lines is only meant for families and their private connections. People that know things. Right? There's a lot of people out there that don't know what the fuck else going on. Right? I get that. There are things that go back to obvious people or friends, family, connections, etc. etc. It goes down the chain, right? As you know, there are things unfolding in nature's course. Right? You can't mess around with it because it's a real life event, obviously, number one. Number two, I'm not laughing about it because I'm dead serious. Right? I get that. For a lot of people that say, why is he calling this topic message between the lines? Did you ever know that that's all in all different types of families, railway families mostly. Connections are everywhere, and everything connects up, and everything adds up, right? You see, when things are in trouble, if you will call it correctly, right? You have to recorrect it. Obviously, you have to. You got to get go forward, right? But there are people out there wanting need things that need to happen, people that wanted these things to happen. Sometimes you get people that don't want it to happen, right? I get that. But the thing is, if I could get these assholes out of my way, as they say, I said, if you don't believe it, watch it. You know, it unfolds in front of your eyes and then you let it shut up because you witnessed it, for example. So the message is there, the clues were there, the answers were there, the action that I do, bing, bada, boom, woohoo. You can't. Stop it because it's meant to be for me and my family. Right in the end. Right when people say, what the flaming hell's going on here? I said in every angle you're gonna get the answer, right? But it's slowly unfolding in front of you. Right? When things unfold in front of you, you then criticize, is this real? Oh shit. Yeah, well, facts add up. Right? Clues add up. My private connections are witnessing it. Even my future descendants are coming into play in this. Right? So you can't fuck around. I'm safeguarding them all. One by one by one. I said you're gonna get stumped. Right? I told you. My friend told you. I'm telling you. That's two. I said a lot of them know what's unfolding, right? They don't have to BS. They don't have to do anything. All they have to do is watch it unfold. Right? I get it. Not all of you would see it happen unfoldably. I said it's been doing it all year round, and you're not even seeing it. I said you're blind as a bat, you can't work it out, and you end up with a big message in front of your head, thinking, message between the lines? What does he mean by that? If you really work it out, it all adds up, right? There are things around you that are realistic, not just facts, but the truth as well. And you're adding up, adding it in, adding it in, adding it in, adding it in. I said, people that know things that add up, it all unfolds naturally. You can't expect it to come out in one day, right? You can't just choose when you want it to happen. It will happen when it happens. Right, the message is clear, crystal, and action-wise. Right, the Steam team are working hard work. They're not gonna bullshit with you. Ding, ding, ding. They just tell it. They tell it to your face, and they will shut you up. Right? A lot of people, right? Because I've been on holiday for 4 days, I will say. People were witnessing it, but they could not understand it. I said it's there in black and bloody white. I said it's there in black and white because it's true. Number one. Two, it's there because the message is between the lines. Ding, ding, ding. Right? You have to be realistic. And it's not a game you can run around in. I said it's there in black and white. Right, when it unfolds in front of you, then you drop jaw. Right? You can't do nothing about it because I'm always safeguarding. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Why? The answer's staring in your face and you just can't work it out. I said, there are a lot of intelligent people out there that would stump their feet and click their heels and realise, oh crap. That's what they would say, right? Which is natural way of knowing it, right? When a message between the lines tell you fact, it's there in black and white. All you have to do is realise, oh, sir, what does this mean, sir? And then I told Thomas exactly what needs to be said, right? But because I'm him and a fat man, I'm rolled into one. Right? A lot of people know what needs to be unfolded, right? I get that. The message between the lines is not just a normal thing. It's not like reading between the lines. It's the message between the lines. And it adds up, and it adds up, and it goes, goes, goes. Right? A lot of time, when you got the answers, it's the dead people that telling me. Nobody else. Right? The dead people tell me, then I'll just go with the flow. Right? My grandfather, on my mother's side of the family, this is where respect comes a long, long way on this. Why, I get it. My grandfather on my mother's side of the family has a lot more respect than anybody else on the bloody planet. Why, a lot of you know him as Henry, obviously, Henry Cooper, obviously being the obvious. I said to you, you're gonna get stumped, which is true. I'm not gonna bullshit on it. Right? When it all comes to light, it comes right in front of you, right? Right? So when it all unfolds in front of you, I said, yeah. So when it unfolds in natural course, you've got Henry Cooper, who is a key element, right? I already know what he's saying to me. He may be dead, but he's told me exactly what I'm doing, right? He's not bullshitting. He's not being an asshole because he's dead and buried. So you can't tell my dead grandfather to piss off because he's already dead. So what happened? Let me give you a hint. You see, there are little twists in this that you're not seeing. Right? The facts are there, the message was clear. Between the lines, it's all true. Yes, it's reality, it's fact, and it's logic. Right? I'm not going to bullshit with my dead grandfather. Alright? On my mother's side of the family. That's no lie. Right? When he sends me the message, I don't mention it online. Why? Private details, confidential details, but everything is there in black and white. He knew what he was doing, and he knew the right time to do it. So when people tell and know exactly where I'm coming from, I said, don't bullshit in the pub like the Albion, because I'm monitoring that place like a hawk. Right? I may be stubborn, strict and stern, but I'm not stubborn either. I'm a lot more calm, cool, collected, but also strict and stern on top. I'm jokey and cocky as well, so stop pissing about with my family, will you? Right? There are other people involved than just you lot. Right? I get who's involved, who's logically involved, and I know who it's connected to. Who? Right? The thing is, in the end of the day, your the message between the lines, right, is from the dead people. Ding ding. Right? When you were born and raised up, you thought you'd been safeguarded by your family, like always, and it leads back to one individual in particular in any family, right? And you feel like, oh fuck. Right? You may be saying that, for example. It's true, it's logic, and it's fact. I would never lie to no one. Right? There are a lot of messages between the lines, but you have to realize they're specifically for different people around the globe, not just about what this. I said a lot of people don't realize, right? My grandfather, Sir Topham the first, was in the photograph with all the four men and perp all together, right? My grandfather, Henry Cooper, wasn't in the photograph because he had to raise five flaming daughters. So get it in all your heads, saying, how does he know what message does he bring his grandson? Let me put this in perspective, right? My dead grandfather, Sir Topham the first, made sure I'm safeguarded wherever I go. When the SOS call comes through, then you are all fucked because you don't believe it. I said believe this because now it's all true, so shut your traps. Right? It's realistic. I'm not going to bullshit with the bush. But if you want to break the time stream and break all everything up, be prepared with the graveyard department. I don't need that. Nor do I. because my back won't cope for it. And then everybody that moaned and groaned and saying, "Oh yeah, we need this and we want that, we want this and we want that." I said to him, Dave, you have to be realistic. It's not a game. It's not a joke. Like I said, a message between the lines come within all your families. Right? All your genetic codes were all coded for you. Right? Just grow up. When it all unfolds in front of you, then it should click, 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 click. But when it all goes down the other way for you, then feel sorry at the end of the tunnel because you didn't do it right. Well, I get it. But a person that comes into the Albion like me, Stephen Top of that the third, knows exactly what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. Right? I'm not gonna bullshit with the bush. Right? Because I don't accept bullshit. I always get to the point. Right? Every time I warned you, you're gonna get hurt. Why? Because you didn't believe what was unfolding in front of your eyes. Right? So, what happens next? You're gonna start investigating it, aren't you? Do some research, do some homework, and realize, oh fuck, that's what you would say, WTF, 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 3 times. Why? Because you screwed up. You feel like you're, say for instance, you've got this big bubble around you, right? You can't work out why. Let me give you another example. When you open a book, right, and you go through it, you're reading all of what the book says, blah, 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 going down the line, and you end up with a blank in the middle. Why? Why? I'm asking you a simplified question here. This is realistic, not bullshit. Right? When the pages are blank in the middle, and then you've got the other half in generation 4 and 5, work around it. It should be there in your little mind. Right? A lot of people are not intelligent because they drink alcohol all the time. Right? I'm trying to get all the bullshitters out of the pub. Why? Because they're not seeing the full extent of the picture. Right? They're not thinking straight. They're not putting the pieces together. I'm making sure you get what you need. Right? The message between the lines come from within your own families. Right? In the day, mine's all there in black and white. Right? I can't argue with my dead grandfather on my mother's side, and I can't argue with my dead grandfather on my father's side of the family. So behave and grow up and look at it. It's there in black and white. I will never lie and never deceitful, and I'll also be right straightforward with you. Right? If you want to argue and debate and say, oh, right, yeah, right, you're going to say that to my face, right? Okay, let me give you another scenario, right? A lot of people need to be safeguarded around the globe. I get that. But I can't do it on my own. That's fact. Right? There's a lot of logic to this. Right? When I said to you, Adam Taylor is the last one on the list. Right? He's realistic, yes, but he's not born yet. So then you got me and Lady Hatt, obviously. Then you have my kids, and then one of Emily Helen, well, one of my grandchild, will marry the Taylor family member. Ding ding. That brings in the other lot. Brings in Adam Taylor himself. So work it forward. It may be in reverse, but it's forward. So then you got to work out where is the connection through it. They already told me exactly who it is without acknowledging it. The message between the lines. It's there in black and white. I'm not going to argue. or debate, whatever. It's unfolding the correct way. Right? You need to understand what it is. A message between the lines from the dead people to me. Right? A lot of people know what's been said to me directly, but I'm not at liberty to give out any more clues. The message between the lines come from within my own family. No more, no less. Why? If you work it out, you keep it to yourself and don't say nothing. Right? There's a lot of people that want to do this for damage. And I don't want that damage. Right? We realise there's a lot of logic and truth and logic on this. Message between the lines from the dead people. It's real, it's fact, and it's logic. Right? But also the people of the living, or some of my private connections and connections of friends, or some of my friends, know exactly what's meant to unfold. They're not bullshitters. They get straight to the point, just like me. Bang! You got the truth. But it's not going to happen straight away. Why? Because people need to learn. Message between the lines automatically there. A message between the lines. It doesn't come directly from me. The clues are there for me, but the message between the lines come from the dead people. Like two of my grandfathers, obviously, Sir Topham the first, and my grandfather on my mother's side. So there's a clue there, but I'm not allowed liberty to say. Right? Then you've got all the all the steam team of the first generation in there, in black and white. All the answers are there, and so is the clues. Unfortunately, you have to realise a message between the lines. It's not like the reading between the lines, because that's different. But a message between the lines gave you the strict point on it. Right? I'm not going to bullshit, because it's reality of all of it. But it's going to take what it will do eventually. My family do not lie. But some don't realise what's unfolded to realise what's got to be done. So you got the message between the lines and reading between the lines. Two separate categories, but they're basically similar when it goes down the line. Boom, boom, boom. Message between the lines. I got the message, you did not. So when it comes to you, you think I've gone balmy? I said, no, I have not. It's just intelligence is a lot more powerful in my family. Right? So you've got to take that into consideration. A lot of people might think I've gone, like I said, family protects family. It's one message. Right? My friends and connections are part of the connection of my family. So my friend becomes a connection. Work it out. It's all there in black and damn white. So, while it's all playing out, all in truth, the message between the lines always beats you. So, in the day, when it's real and it's fact and it's logic, you can't say this is a lie because it isn't. The message between the lines, it's like they're sending you a message, but like I said, between the lines, not just in front of your face. So the message between the lines is staring right in front of you. So, in the other day, it's slowly coming together while you lot are like saying, what is he doing on his holiday? I said, magic unfolds everywhere. It doesn't just involve the Albion, but the Albion needs to boot out all the junkies. Right? all the people we don't need. Right? I get it. There's a lot of things unfolding in the correct way, but the message between the lines should give you a heads up. I'm getting a message between the lines while you lot are sitting down drinking your asses off. So don't expect me to say I'm going to help you because I can't. So the message between the lines on this is true story, yes, but it's meant for my family only. Why is that? My grandfather on my mother's side of the family knew something, correct? So did my grandfather, Sir Topham at the first, on my father's side of the family, know it as well. Two pieces become a whole. And who's stuck in the middle to the next generation of the third generation? Me, Sir Stephen Topham at the third, at your service. In any angle. So, if you think this is all like what I stated, message between the lines. Right? Regardless, you could do reading between the lines, which Audrey stated. The answers were all there, but a message from one person, which it allows on me, and while all the others can read between the lines as well as I could do the same trick as them. Why? Because I can read it between the lines, but I also could get an important message between the lines also. So it's no lies, there's no deceits, and there's no dishonesty. Right? If the dead people are managed to communicate with me, there's a damn good reason for it. Right? A lot of my family are dead and buried with that secret. However, only my grandfather on my mother's side of the family passed it on. Why? Because it was a red flag in my family from the day I was born, since the day my grandfather died 20 years ago. And that's fact. But when the day I was born, that was like 2001 of SPD, Power Rangers. No, instead of 2001, it's 1983. So the message between the lines is already in play for me and my family. Thank you very much in every angle.